Okay, so now you did part 1 of the video and you finished filling in this part of your book. We are going to do a little bit more of this foldable on your next class period, so don't lose it. Keep this with you. But now we have all 5 of these options for solving these triangles. These notes that you got, you should get a copy of these notes, and these are going to look a lot like what we did last time because this is basically the same thing we did on day 1, except now we've added 2 more kinds that you need to think about. That's all it is. Everything else is exactly the same as last time. So start off, fill in these congruent parts here on your paper off of the notes, and then take a minute and pause the video, fill it in yourself, then come back and see if you're... Okay, so I filled them in. A goes with D, C goes with F, and BC goes with FE. Remember that we're talking about just what's shown on the picture. We're not asking for everything that's congruent, just what they actually show in the picture. Then I matched up my same letters here. C goes with F, C goes with F, A goes with D, B goes with E. I did that here. Now our congruence postulate, just remember the only difference now is that I have more options to pick from. Which one is this? Well, this is angle, angle, side. You just go right around there, angle, angle, side. Alright, take a minute, you fill out the next one on your own, pause the video, and then come back and check and see if you're right. Okay, this first part is exactly the same thing as what we've been doing, so just fill this out, make sure you've got it filled out. Now here's the thing to think about. If I just look at this, this would be a side, and an angle. Angle, side, side. But we wrote in our notes that angle, side, side doesn't work. So I can't use angle, side, side. But I do know that it's a right triangle. I do know this side here is the hypotenuse, and this side here is a leg. So this one I can use hypotenuse leg on. Just realize that's the one you can use because angle, side, side doesn't work. Okay, on these next ones, we're going to do the same thing. And I know it just says angle, angle, side, and HL and not congruent. But add that we have some other options. We can choose from any of our options we have. So take a minute, go through, look at each one of these, and do it just like we did last time. Pick which postulate you're going to use for each one, and see if you can figure it out. Okay, on this one, if I start going around, this would be side, side, angle. Does that work? Nope, not congruent. Here, this is an angle, this is a side, and this is a side, but I can't do angle, side, side, but these are right triangles, so this is the hypotenuse here in the middle, and this is a leg, so that's hypotenuse leg. On this one, I have an angle, the side, and an angle. That one's angle, side, angle. This one here, I have this side, that's a hypotenuse, and this is the leg, and it's a right triangle, so this is hypotenuse leg. This one, right triangles again, so this is hypotenuse leg. And then this one here, we have an angle, a side, and an angle. So this one's angle, side, angle. Okay, just like on day 1, sometimes they don't put the information on the picture and we have to draw it on our picture ourselves. And just like on day 1, you may want to refer back to the side notes on the side here for some of this information. Like the first one tells us it's a midpoint. And remember, a midpoint cuts the segment into 2 equal parts. So you may need to go back and refer to these as you go through these kind of questions. E is the midpoint, so that cuts this into 2 equal parts. It tells me GE is congruent to HE. And I know that this is a right angle, so this is hypotenuse leg. Okay, on the next one, J is congruent to M. J in K is congruent to M in K. And then I also know this side here is congruent on both of them because it's the same side. So this is angle, angle, side. And the last one, D is the midpoint. So again, that's going to mean this part's equal to this part. MDB is a right angle. And DTZ is a right angle because it says it right there. and BM is congruent to ZD. So this is again hypotenuse leg. Okay, pause if you need to, but we're going to flip over to the back and continue with this. Angle D is congruent to A, and BD is the same as CA, and I know these are congruent by vertical angles, so this is angle, angle, side. Okay, the next one, they have some of the marks on there, and they also tell me this middle one is the same, because that's the same line. So this happens to be hypotenuse and leg. And then the last one, this is one of those overlapping ones like we talked about last time. So I colored this one in yellow, and then that one I just outlined in pink for us. So what we have here is FP. This whole long side here is congruent to this whole long side here. And PRH, this angle here is the same as this angle here. And then I know this angle at the top is the same. So if I look at just the pink one, I have this angle, and this side. That looks like angle, angle, side. And if I look at the yellow one, that's this angle, and that side, so that's angle, angle, side. Okay, the next ones are again just like stuff we did last time. This is again the kind where they say, I want to prove these are congruent by HL, but I'm missing something. What am I missing? Well, in this case, I know they're right triangles, and they told me the hypotenuse part, so what I'm missing is an L. So they could tell me that DF is congruent to YX, VX. Or they could say this side here, this one, DE, is congruent to WV. When we do the leg part, it could be this leg or it could be that leg. Either one will work. So DEF is congruent to VWX. Okay, here they want us to do it by HL, and we know this side is the same on both of them, and that would be a leg to both of these right triangles. Here's our right angle. So what I need is the hypotenuse to go with the leg. Well, the hypotenuse is this side and this side, so that would be HK is congruent to KL. And finally, my last one, they want us to use angle, angle, side. Even though it's a right triangle, they want us to do angle, angle, side. So I know this angle, and I know this side. So could I use C? Well, if I did C here, that would be angle, side, angle. That's not the one they want us to use. They want us to use angle, angle, side. So it has to be this one here, angle, angle, side. Angle B is congruent to angle I. And then down here, Mr. Gallatin made this part of the notes, but it's just reminding us of the same thing that we put in our foldable here. And this is the same thing that we put in this part of our foldable about the parts that don't work. Side, side, angle, that doesn't work, and this is the same picture we had in our foldable. And also angle, angle, angle doesn't work because these are similar. These two triangles aren't even similar. They're not the same size or the same shape. These are similar. They're the same shape, but not the same size.